Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 98th episode of the Alter Ego Podcast. Wow. We're back, baby. Last week we had some scheduling issues, not a lot of news issues, things going on. But we're back. We're here for you. Whew. So much has happened.
Yeah, Will Smith slapped the absolute shit out of Chris Rock.
I can't. I'm so tired of
That's on the list, and we are going to talk about it.
Oh, can that be the graphic?
No.
Damn it.
So many people would check it out, though, I'm sure. I as soon as I saw that happen, it was like last night at midnight, I was like, there's going to be some damn good internet tomorrow.
Yeah,
he came like rushing in the room laughing.
I did. I was like, babe, check this out.
If you see that as the graphic, you know who wears the pants in this household.
Sure.
I might sit here and make it right now.
You can make it all you want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get the hype train back on. If it's the default Alter Ego logo, you know what happened.
Yep.
She wore the pants, and I'm going to be like, babe, I don't know what happened. I got a checking and a savings, and the way my savings is set up.
3 days.
Oh, it's so good to be back with all of you wonderful people. How's it going, Ryan?
It's going swell.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Good to see you again, even though we see each other, 3 times a week now?
Yeah, something like that.
Feels like it. Babe, how you doing?
Oh, you know. Hey.
So
she's glowing, so I'm giving her the applause.
Here and crash on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Henry Titans is just going to clickety-clack roll a couple days.
Come on in. Pop,
some
pop.
cheats, and I'm out.
That's right. So we're going to up, down here at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? We're going to just not left, right. We're going to up, down with your emotions, with your feelings.
Oh, boy.
First of all, rest in peace to the bad guy, my man Razor Ramon. Hey, you know what? When I didn't know he was Razor Ramon. When I discovered him, he was Scott Hall. And he was the outsider. And he was doing the outsider's edge, coming into WCW with Kevin Nash. You know what I mean? I've been seeing so much Scott Hall stuff, and it reminded me how much I loved watching him as a kid.
You know, it's funny because everyone had it posted Scott Hall, and all I remembered him was Razor Ramon.
That's wild. That's wild. You must have been a WWE guy or WWF.
Yep.
Yeah, WCW is what I used to watch all the time. I remember being bored as hell in my room, and I had a TV that had scramble vision because it was only hooked up to my PlayStation 1. And so I was flipping the channels like, does this thing even work? Because you had to have it hooked up to the cable or something. And one day, clear as day, WCW Monday Nitro came on.
Like, oh, shit.
I was like, what is this? Never had heard of wrestling in my entire life.
Really?
I may have told this story on the show before. If I have, forgive me. If not, you're hearing it for the first time, strap in. Young Jack is listening to Tony Schiavone talk about Bam Bam Bigelow fighting a young up-and-comer in hot pink face paint with green and blue, and his name was Sting. And they were talking about how Sting, there's no way he'll beat this monster, Bam Bam Bigelow. He's crazy. And I was like, oh my God, well, why would they be fighting if he's crazy? If he's a monster, why are they doing this? And Sting ended up pulling out the victory, and it got me in trouble because when he won, I was like, yeah! I was so excited that Sting had won. And my dad didn't think I was watching TV. So I turned the TV off and just dove into bed, just buried my face into it. You know how you do when your parents are coming in and you weren't doing something you weren't supposed to be doing, so you play the I'm asleep. So I just buried my face, and my dad's like, Jack. I was like,
like he's screaming in his sleep.
He's like, Jack. I'm like, he comes over, slaps the shit out of my foot. I stuck to the part. Acted like I was staying dead asleep. He walks over to the TV because, level 5,000 move. And we had these old tube TVs. They weren't all flat screen, nice TVs. They were the big, fat
big
TVs. And he put his hand on the back of the TV.
Uh-oh.
And as soon as he did that, I just remember going, fuck! in like the pillow, just internally, like I'm caught. I'm done because that TV's got to be hot. And he just says to my carcass, "Listen up, Jack. I catch you watching TV past 9 o'clock again. It's going in the lake." Sorry, sir. Anyway, what's this have to do with Scott Hall? I was not the first time I made that mistake. I went back to the well several times watching Scott Hall beat people's ass. So rip to the bad guy. That's the bad news. Good news is this episode is brought to you by Ford Supply Company, makers of all natural and organic soaps for men. Still waiting to see the soap, Don, for my new commercial. Yeah. But I know that makes y'all feel better that you can use promo code Alter Ego to get 10% off your order when you go to FordSupply.com because it's Ford soap. It's real soap.
No bullshit.
None.
Don't forget to hit them up on Instagram, too.
That's right. Hit them up on Instagram, man. They take some beautiful pictures of soap.
They really do.
They really do. They make it very appealing. They're tagged in every single episode, so if you're looking, just check the tags. They're on there.
On the Insta.
Yeah, and go straight to their website and use Alter Ego, 10% off. So that should make you happy. Mm-hmm. But the bad news is Taylor Hawkins, drummer for the Foo Fighters, he died at 50 years old. That's very sad.
I was going to say, are we going to get into all that, or are we going to skip all that?
No, we're not going to get super into it. I mean, listen, I feel bad that something that people love, artists that people love, has died, and then you read the report that he had over 10 different substances in his body at the same time. I wish he would have gotten the help that he needed.
Party.
He did. I wish he would have gotten the help that he needed if he wanted it. But, hey, it's that age-old saying, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I don't know what happened. I'm sad that the man is dead, but hey, I hear that and I go, ooh.
Yeah, when you live a risky
well,
life.
it's not like he was necessarily,
making the best choices.
Right.
I mean,
but
that
it's
doesn't
sad.
mean
it's
right.
sad.
That doesn't mean that the loss of his life is not incredibly sad.
For sure.
It's just the circumstances that, make you kind of second guess your own choices.
Absolutely.
And I know I'm kind of
stand
low-key
this
a
right
dick
path.
because I'm like, at least it was just a drummer. They can replace him easy with Dave Grohl.
Well, Dave Grohl's a hell of a drummer.
I'm about the
himself,
music,
but I'm
man.
sure those folks are like Foo Fighter fans are devastated. And I'm sure the whole band is just absolutely
Oh, yeah, for sure.
devastated
Right.
over losing their friend, but it stinks. But the good news is Tony and Nello's Southern Italian Cuisine
Emotional
Grill's a
roller
hidden
coaster.
gem that's family owned and operated on the outskirts of St. Petersburg at 1136 Pinellas Bayway, South Tierra Verde, Florida. It's a must-try homemade Italian lunch or dinner. Just remember to bring your appetite because portions are very generous.
Breathe.
You can call for a reservation today at 727-867-3577 and check out tonyandnellos.com.
Play Monkey Wrench.
I'm like incredibly starving right now, so
she's hungry.
Just hit me too.
Yeah,
was I not
she's
just saying that I was
starving.
capable of waiting to eat dinner, and now I'm sitting over here like all I
She
can
said
think
she
about?
she said she was capable, but we knew that was a lie.
It's like these pregnancy
Sir.
symptoms, man. They've got me rage hungry sometimes. I've been thinking about the same thing since about 1 o'clock today, and it's a
she's been
salmon
thinking about
Caesar
it.
salad,
She's
and
been
I
thinking
want it
about
really badly.
Since Saturday afternoon is when she's been thinking
That's
about
true.
it.
But that's what I'm
Yeah.
having for dinner. I
And
can't
she
wait.
hasn't gotten it yet? Patience.
I had one on Saturday afternoon, and I would like another.
Oh.
She's just a masochist. She's just waiting for all that, and she's just trying to.
So if I hulk out in the middle of this episode about any topic, just know
Right.
that I'm hungry.
Right. So once we get to that topic, we'll know why Megan's going over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to look at you like a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Every news piece that comes up.
Throwing it back. You as a parent, you ever pull the old TV move?
Yeah, of course.
Man,
Of course.
that used to kill me all the time.
Nothing makes me want to vomit in my mouth more than when I do tactics that my parents used to do to me.
Oh,
I do it and I just fill up with rage.
I feel like ours would be, with the type of TVs we have these days, ours would actually be like the Xbox. Because we power everything off the Xbox, you would just feel the Xbox to see if it was
that
warm.
too.
I lie to them and I tell them I have access to
he
all
does.
of their data.
Yeah, we tell them the same
Not
thing about their
necessarily a lie.
phones. Yeah,
No, it's not. You're right.
because we can
But they
see
don't
the
have
logins
the full
and
internet
logouts.
access. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is
Man.
what it is.
I remember those days when kids were like, you're grounded, you're not supposed to play PlayStation, but you got a single mom who's at work all damn day. So you're like, I'm going to go home and play
She's
some PlayStation.
never gonna know.
Put everything back together and do everything. And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I got this. She walks in, a little warm, and fuck.
What
So
have you been
then,
doing? I was
you
watching
gotta do.
Cops. I was watching Cops.
Got to quit a little early. Then I learned to put the fan on the TV. See? Level
Smart,
10,000
smart,
more.
smart.
Then that's how you get them.
Yeah. Well, anyway, back to not trapping kids.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some random video game stuff, shall we? Microsoft coming out saying they will not stand in the way of an Activision Blizzard union if there was one to be formed. Ooh. And all I can think of when you say that is Jan Levinson Gould going, if you even think about forming a union, you'll be fired like that. You'll spend so much more in legalese and all this other stuff, and all this will be, if Michael was your friend, he would tell you. And they look over at Michael, and he's hiding behind a blow-up doll.
I guess that's an office reference.
So I think about it, I was like, man, that's inviting some serious trouble there. Well, not trouble for Activision. Great for the employees to be a unioned employee. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But the union, I think, provides them their own health care if they do that, right?
I believe so. I don't really know anything about unions.
I don't either. We're not a union state. We're in Florida, so we don't get to know anything about it. Please let us know.
It's good for them, though, man, because they make them work tons and tons of hours and crunch and all that.
Yeah.
They really should be forming unions. But, I mean, under the umbrella of Microsoft don't care like that.
Right.
Like, you don't have to rush and get this out on time.
Not for Activision Blizzard. Not for Activision Blizzard. Because that's just a small facet of that company.
Yeah, but I mean, most of their games, Microsoft pushes back and they do different. Like, they can cancel a lot of them, too. Like, they just aren't going to get made. It's not going to happen. All right, cool.
Yeah.
We'll watch it. Who cares about that?
On to the next one.
You know what I mean? Like, they just don't care.
Yeah, on to the next one is how that goes. There was a trailer dropped at, was it PlayStation? What's their live event called?
I do not know. I don't pay attention to PlayStation.
Yeah, well, they released a video game for Hogwarts Legacy. That looks actually pretty cool for the Hogwarts fans out there or the Harry Potter fans. It looks pretty darn good.
If I can't play with
Voldemort
with no nose,
I thought you stopped saying it because you didn't want to say his name because he is. Yeah. He must not be named.
He who must not be named.
I don't want to. If I can't play with
if you want to play with
be nosed.
If you want to play with
and I go to watch this trailer, if it's not Harry Potter running by with Voldemort, I got your nose. I don't want to play
it. I just want to hear, you're a wizard, Harry. Although this is set way before Harry Potter, so you're already out of gas. This is way before the time of Harry Potter and Voldemort or any of those guys.
Oh, so we're going to see how he lost his nose?
No. This is before they're born.
No.
Then how is that a Harry Potter game?
It's a Hogwarts game.
Oh, Hogwarts. Who cares about Hogwarts like that?
Jeez, all those Hogwarts alums out there just screamed at their radios.
Mm-hmm. Radios even.
Hey, all you
know what I mean.
And Hufflepuffs.
Hey, remember when a dime cost a nickel? When the Washington Gophers played for $8.
Gophers? I thought they were groundhogs.
Whatever.
Anyway, so there's a couple of things I want to talk about with this next topic, and that is good old Elden Ring. I have been playing a really decent amount of Elden Ring.
A shit ton is an understatement.
Yeah. I gotta just say a few things. If you're on the on the fence about Elden Ring, you don't know if you want to get it, you don't know if you want to try it. I'll say this: the game is a lot of things. First of all, it's huge. It is massive.
That's what she said.
Second of all, she said the game is huge.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Okay. Mm-hmm. There is no linear direction in this game. You are plugged into the world, and you are free to go and explore.
So it's Breath of the Wild style.
It is Breath of the Wild on crack cocaine, sitting in a dark alley in Baltimore, fighting off angry raccoons.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
It is. So you go through this tutorial in the beginning, and the first person they introduce you to in the game, I guess it's a good way to set the tone. He is not intended to be beaten by you. It's a good way to teach you a lesson that stuff out here, it's okay to run away from. It is a lot of things. It is frustrating at times. It is infuriating. But my man over here has put in countless hours into Monster Hunter.
Yes.
And that's why I think this game, for you may never stop playing it.
Oh, man, I don't want to hear that.
Because I have put God knows how many hours into it, babe.
A ridiculous amount. Like
I'd
80.
say it's been close to 80 hours. And I just got to the second stage where it's very hard to get to. And you have to find seals in this game. They don't tell you where they are. You either have to watch YouTube, go to Wikipedia or whatever, and explore. So if you're okay with exploration and challenging enemies, I'm telling you, I played with a friend of mine who's level 140 something. I'm only level 44. I played with him. We walked across some common bosses. I saw his health bar go right when he got hit. I mean, it is a challenging game no matter what level you're at. But I gotta say, and Megan is not a video game player, but she's a video game watcher. What are your impressions of this game? I'm interested to know.
It's beautiful.
I mean, that's for sure.
It's definitely very aesthetic. I don't know a whole lot about the game, but it does have some Dungeons and Dragons feels.
Big time. What she means is there are dragons all over the place.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've seen some dragon fighting. I've seen some magic thrown. I've seen him die from weird slugs. So
She's seen me die from everything in this game.
Yeah.
Now, can you ride dragons? Because I want a game where I can ride dragons.
No. You cannot ride dragons.
But there was a 3-headed dragon in there at one point.
No. There are other monsters with more than one
I
head.
thought there was that one that
I'll tell you this.
you were fighting at Nick's house.
No, that was Nick was fighting, but it wasn't a 3-headed dragon. Oh. It was a 3-headed magma salamander that just walks around the level and can find you at any time.
A 3-headed lizard. Okay, so I mean, it's basically a dragon.
It's not though. But the game is absolutely gorgeous, and I
really
kind of love this. So, just to give you an example, I walked into an area I'd never been before. And I walk upon this area that's got kind of like standing water, maybe a foot or two of water. And there's a ghost on a boat just rowing down the path. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to have to fight this guy because I can just look at it. And out of nowhere, he summoned a skeleton that was easily 15 times as big as any of us. And it one-shot me by hitting me at any time, which is extremely frustrating. However, this game does a great job of rewarding you for your struggles. If you sit there and you ride the struggle bus and you win, this game does the best job of saying, hey, good job, here's something useful.
So I'm not going to get a penny after I spend 3 hours fighting something and oh, look, it's a piece of armor that's worse than the ones I already have now. Great.
I will say this. Gear, in terms of what you're talking about, does not scale in the traditional sense. What you pick, your starter stats, are really not that big of a deal. You can just sit there and level things up as you go. And it gets to the point where it doesn't matter what you're wearing, you will be powerful. And you can just make yourself look cool. I play a pure magic character, and he has been two things. Incredibly fun to play, because I love playing the mages, but he is a freaking just twig. He gets hit, he is dead.
So pretty much glass cannon kind of a build.
Yeah. So that's frustrating. But I see people in this game doing all kinds of stuff. The beautiful thing about this game is I want to go there. Go there. Chances are, if you explore, you're going to find something new. I have 5 different characters that I'm playing to do 5 different builds because I get bored and go to another one. And I have not seen the same game on any build, period. I mean, there are obviously certain areas that you become pretty familiar with, but the more you explore, the more you play, crazier the game gets. And you can get late game stuff early on as well. I mean, you can find, if you can survive, if you can get where you need to go, that's the beautiful thing about this game. Anyway, I'm not going to keep going about Elden Ring. This isn't the Elden Ring episode, but it is crazy fun. And George R.R. Martin's touch on it, you can definitely see. There's a lot of craziness. There's crazy bad guys. There's crazy bosses. And apparently he hid his initials in the game with certain enemies that you fight. I thought that was very sneaky and interesting at that game. But of all the stuff that I've just said, wrap your head around this. There was a speed run to beat Elden Ring in 25 minutes.
Jesus.
I have played this game for 80-something hours and just got to the second big area. And there's somebody who's beaten this game in 25 minutes. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. That's like me with the Breath of the Wild.
Right.
It's been done in 7 minutes.
There you go.
And that was the last time that I saw years ago. So I'm sure they've perfected it to being even shorter
So
now.
they perfected it to 25 minutes. And then the game got patched to where that wasn't possible. And there was this big thing of the death of the speed run. You can't speed run anymore in Elden Ring. It's done. Nope. Somebody else figured it out. 18 minutes is the new record, apparently. Wow.
Yep.
Wild where video games has gone as opposed to where it was. I got to tell you guys right now, strap in. You could probably see the timestamp. This is going to be a long episode. We haven't even gotten out of the first group of news. I'm not even into the third topic that we have here. We got a lot more to go. So I appreciate you sticking around, but we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Next one, The Witcher. Number 4. The devs have confirmed a teaser saying that it is a brand new Witcher school. Now, have you played Witcher?
Nope.
I haven't either.
Too much. That's the thing that's holding me back from playing Elden Ring. Certain things, if it's not handheld like I could with Breath of the Wild, too many hours, I'm like, I'll pick it up, start to play, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. Unless I absolutely love it, like Monster Hunter, I'm not playing it that much.
I'm telling you, I bought Elden Ring on a whim. Like, I'm hearing so much about it. I'm seeing so many YouTube videos, TikToks. It looks interesting, and it's a Dark Souls game, and I've never played a Dark Souls game.
I'm there. I'm about at that point. I'm almost ready to pull the trigger, but then luckily Madden has been taking up so much of my time that
I've been watching that.
Have it.
Been seeing that you've been watching some Madden or playing some Madden. But so this one, I think there's a rumor that it's going to go with Ciri in this game. It's not going to follow Geralt like the other Witchers have. I don't know. Does Geralt die or something? Or is he just like an old man now?
I don't know.
Is this a series or a game?
A video game.
Oh, I don't care so much.
The last one, The Witcher, The Witcher, The Wild Hunt, was widely talked about as one of the greatest games ever.
Yeah.
So a lot of people freaking out about that one. I don't know. Might be worth a look. Might not be. I don't know.
CD Projekt Red's got some making up to do after Cyberpunk 2077.
That's what I'm hearing. And The Witcher right now is extraordinarily popular, so this is a good move. PlayStation has they bought another studio, and I saw it, but I didn't want to talk about it too much because I didn't know any of the games. I want to say it's like Hassan or something like that. They bought a new studio. But what they did bring out that interested me is they're going to be revealing the Spartacus subscription as soon as this week. And it's said to be a competitor to Xbox Gamepass. Do you care?
I would if it was like Xbox Game Pass.
Do you know anything about it? Because I don't.
I don't, but I doubt that PlayStation makes its money based upon people buying their titles like The Last of Us from their studios that necessarily aren't theirs, but pretty much just work for them, like Naughty Dog and all those guys. I highly doubt I'm going to be able to go get Horizon Zero Dawn, the new Frozen West or whatever it is, day and date when it comes out on that.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? So it could be wrong, but I just don't see the value in it being the same as Game Pass.
I'm interested to see what they're going to do. Like, are they going to offer their exclusives like Xbox does?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they will.
I mean, because, Gears of War, the entire series was out. And I got to tell you, play it. Go play Gears of War if you're an Xbox fan and you haven't. It's free, and it's so worth it. And the new Halo's out, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Any first-party Microsoft game is going to be there day and date. Forza,
Oh, I see what you're saying now. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I misunderstood
So
you.
like that's what made
yeah.
like the acquisition of Bethesda now being under Microsoft, Activision being under Microsoft, because those are going to be things that come out to Game Pass day and date. I doubt PlayStation's going to do something similar to that. So like all their big titles like Ghost of Tsushima, that's not going to be on there.
That would be amazing.
You know what I mean? You're not going to get
that's the
Persona
one
5.
game
You're
right
not
now
gonna
that
get
I'm
all that other stuff.
So what does PlayStation operate under? Is it because Xbox is
Sony.
Microsoft, isn't it?
Sony.
Gotcha.
Sony PlayStation.
Sony PlayStation. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't like their user interface. Xbox is much more intuitive.
Cleaner. Yeah.
Much better. Nintendo Switch, much better. Much more intuitive. I got to put PlayStation in third place on that one.
Yeah, it's weird though, because like I fired up my PS4 about a month ago to play it, and it's like you being a gamer, you understand what's going on. Like you just scroll through. Okay, don't really care for it.
No,
but,
no, it's not unusable by any stretch of the imagination.
But like you said, I just much rather.
And
Xbox.
you know what? This is one of those things that at a certain point as a kid, you decide you want the Xbox or you decide you want the PlayStation, and you ride that train to hell.
Yep.
And I, at PS2, switched over to the Xbox 360 and have never looked back.
I switched after the PS2's run. When the PS3 came out, I switched to the 360.
Right, same.
So
anyway, speaking of Halo, has anybody seen episode 1 of Halo that came out?
no, I have not. I figured we'd talk about it on an episode.
Oh, we will be.
So I was
We
like,
will
I'll
be.
just wait.
I did see episode 1. First impressions. This is clearly meant to be a big budget show. Some of the CGI is questionable.
That's what
So
my
you have
buddy was
seen it.
telling me earlier. He was like, it's kind of bad.
If you are a Halo purist, I would not say bad. It's just you look at it and you go, that's CGI.
Yeah.
There are certain things that you look at and you're like, I can't really tell. Like in Spider-Man No Way Home at the end where they're standing in front of the grave. If you're paying attention, you can see that they're in front of a green screen. But it's really good, so you can't really tell. And certain visuals that are all CGI, gorgeous. It looks great. But the other interesting thing is, for the Halo purists out there, it's not the Master Chief's voice. It's not him. It's an actor. And you will probably call it sacrilege because in episode 1, he takes his helmet off.
Oh.
Which is a no.
It's like the Mandos.
In the game series, you've never seen Master Chief's face. In the lore, he takes his helmet off. But as far as a gamer, a person who plays Master Chief, you never see his face.
Do you think that that's why? Because you said in the lore he takes it off and they're just trying to make it more realistic?
Or is it
No.
maybe because in a game you're first person, so you wouldn't see his face anyway?
And that's the one thing that I was going to say as a positive that I like is they show a lot of it in first person and it looks like Halo. Kind of cool. But then it kind of gives me Doom vibes from Back with the Rock where I was like,
Yeah. I hate when they do stuff like
don't
that
know if I
sometimes.
like this. But the guy who plays Master Chief, I love him. I think he's a great actor. Can't remember his name right off the top of my head. I'm sure a quick IMDb search would find it. But I did not see him being Master Chief, but he's an excellent actor, so I'm sure he'll do a great job. So if you can get past those few things, some questionable CGI,
Pablo Schreiber?
he's amazing. I love him. He was in that movie with 50 Cent and Gerard Butler. It was a bank heist movie. He was in
Den of Thieves. 13 hours.
13 Hours. He was in Den of Thieves.
Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
Skyscraper.
Yeah. All that stuff. Either way, he's really, really good. Okay, guys. So I warned you. Might be a long episode.
Well, let's not forget that I'm
But
hungry.
here we are. Let's give this just for you. Babe, you look beautiful right now.
Thank you. For now,
You're glowing.
until I grow fangs.
We love you being here. Let's take our first break because we're coming on the 30-minute mark, and then we're going to go into everything else. We've got DC, we've got Marvel, we've got TV and movie news. There's lots of stuff to talk about, okay? So we missed you, but we will be right back. And we're back. Thank you so much for joining us for the Alter Ego Podcast Hour. Here we talk about
Hour and a
all
half.
your wonderful comic book news and needs and wants. So, Buckle up, nerds. The next bit that I was going to talk about was a little bit of video game stuff. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League delayed until spring 2023. We didn't see this coming.
No.
We had no idea that would be a thing. But, you know, I'm the king of the segue, so let's go right into DC. The Batman has already done $500 million at the global box office, and this was a couple weeks ago. Good for them. Good for you, Battinson. They said he got prepped for the role of Bruce Wayne by being known as the Twilight Kid for 20 years.
Yeah.
That's how he got so dark and brooding. Has anyone seen the scene that was released after the fact featuring the Joker?
My buddy literally just sent it to me right before I came here on YouTube, and I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to.
So this is a scene that was cut from the movie.
Is that the actor who's playing him?
Yes.
He's gross looking.
He is the young man from Eternals who was the Irish Eternal, the guy who could manipulate people's minds.
He was cool.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite ones.
Merging two of my favorite things, the Eternals. I checked out.
So the look here to me, I think because Matt Reeves has tried to go very practical with everything, as in like practical effects and, you know, very true to the actual comic. I think the look that they've given him is a very Chemical Burn-esque look. Very much in the heart of the original Joker storyline. So they're showing a lot of hair lost to chemical burns. His face is definitely morphed. His fingers are morphed. But the scene is essentially what it reminded me of is Silence of the Lambs. Have we all seen Silence of the Lambs?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Clarice.
Hello, Clarice.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
You know, Florence, I ate his liver with some fava beans.
And a nice Chianti.
And a nice Chianti.
Ugh. Anyway, moving on.
So
Movie
it's Batman
creeps me out.
coming to Joker and saying, I want to show you this case file. Tell me what you think. Which to me was a direct correlation of Agent Starling going to see Hannibal Lecter to say, oh, and he even says, I thought it might interest you. I could see why this scene was cut from the movie because it makes Batman look like he doesn't know what's going on. He's not the world's greatest detective. He needs help from somebody that he has put behind bars, so it makes it look like he thinks the Joker might be smarter than him. That's my interpretation of it, of course. And it's clearly the Joker just kind of toying with him a little bit and having fun with it. But if you watch the scene, Batman hands him a file with 3 paper clips on it and gets a file back with 2 paper clips on it. So it's leading to craziness happening with the Joker. And also...
Which I will say, I don't hate, but we all know that he's going to escape Arkham because he does all the fucking time.
Yeah, that's what the Joker does.
So we don't need this 3.5 minute stupid scene to show us that he now has a paperclip. We all know he's getting out. Who the hell cares how? We know how.
And I think it undermines...
Joker's got a paperclip.
Oh, no. His ass could get out of there with a fucking turd if he wanted to.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, yes, the Joker is very intuitive. But I just got to say that he... it was unnecessary. And I get why they took him out. But I'm interested to see because Matt Reeves has said that he's thinking about including that Joker from the series in the HBO Max Arkham series, which I'm like, I'm here for that. I don't know how this Joker will be received because clearly he's in the movie regardless, but I don't know how he'll be received in terms of the great actors that have played Joker before this.
I'm still waiting for us to be able to clone people off of DNA and we can bring back Heath Ledger.
Oh,
That would be scary.
it would be
Because
awesome.
which Heath Ledger do we get?
The Joker one.
Of course.
So why would you bring him back?
Full blown.
Oh, wow.
Somebody's got to play him. Do it justice.
Then you got some.
I
like,
believe that
you have
whatever
some, like,
doesn't kill you simply makes you cloneder.
I was gonna say something.
What were you going to say, flounder?
I don't know.
Clearly makes you flounder. Anyway.
Anyway. There was something I was going to say, and I forgot because you said that.
So, Paul Dano.
I was getting Pet Cemetery vibes is what I was going to say. He would come back literally as the Joker.
Yeah.
We would clone him, and he would come back as the Joker.
Some things are better off that.
True Batman stories would be happening in our streets, and it would be insane.
Yeah, there'd be a Joker
We'd
and
have
no
like
Batman.
a flip-flop James Todd version.
Somebody would have to be Batman if Joker was a legit thing.
Listen, if you guys want to make me a billionaire, I will gladly
be your Batman.
go to all the booty boot camps. I will take taekwondo. I would want to be the most awkward Batman of all time.
I couldn't be Batman.
No, you can't.
I couldn't be. I'd be more of a Punisher. I'm just sending rounds at him like
easily. And that's one of the things the Joker counts on, right?
Yeah.
Is the fact that Batman's not going to kill him.
Yep.
But anyway, Paul Dano, like I was going to say, is writing a Riddler Year One comic book. And this guy was so dedicated to the Riddler. He did a great job. I think he's one of the shining spots of the movie. So I'm interested to see him continue to dive into this character.
So he himself is writing the comic?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to get into a bit of a little conversation here because IGN polled their users and they ranked all the Batman movies. And I'm just going to run through it.
IGN they're not trustworthy.
They're not trustworthy. The only one I do trust from them is The Dark Knight at number 1. Okay. I trust that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say, if it's not number 1, then they're wrong.
Right. So let's go from first to worst. Justice League, the theatrical cut.
Is that the worst?
Is the worst.
Oh, my God.
After that, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. I don't think those movies were great. But you cannot say that Ben Affleck is anywhere near the worst Batman we've ever had. I arguably say he is in the top 2.
I honestly don't think it's his Batman. I think it's everything else that surrounded it.
Yeah. The next one, Batman and Robin. And then at 11, The Dark Knight Rises with Bane. Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You nearly adopted the 11. Then you're going to tell me Batman Forever is better than that one? And even more crazy, number 9 is Zack Snyder's Justice League cut. Zack Snyder's version is at 9? Get out of here. And then you're going to put Batman the movie, 1966, not Michael Keaton. You're going to put him at number 8. Number 7, the Lego Batman movie.
Why is that even in there?
Are we kidding?
Oh, boy.
Then we've got 6, Batman Returns. Then at number 5, okay, let's get serious. Number 5, Batman 1989. Okay,
Sure.
I'll give you that. Michael Keaton did a great job. Number 4, Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Don't disagree. Think it's a great movie.
Is it an animated movie?
Yeah. I think it's better than Batman Begins. Batman Begins is at number 3. That's a great movie, but I would not put anything else over Batman Begins on this list. Then The Batman with Robert Pattinson coming in at number 2.
See, if this is my list, it'd be 11.
Well,
Wow. We're not shocked there at all.
no.
And number 1 being Dark Knight. That's definitely no surprise there. So the
fact that the Lego movie is on there, the fact that the Lego movie is on there, and there was 1 or 2 other animated ones on there as well.
Yeah.
And what was number 14?
That was Justice League, the theatrical cut.
What the fuck is that doing on this list when you don't have any of the Batman animated movies?
We talked about this last week, that
why?
she has been very invested in the Batman
Because some of them
animated
are so good.
series. Yeah, Batman Hush is incredible. It's a great movie.
And Killing Joke was a good one. What was the other one? Was that you? Did you list off the Phantom one?
Mask of the Phantasm is number 4.
Okay, so I'm glad that one was on there. But those aren't on there. Come on. There were some really, really good movies that were made. And then even The Long Halloween that was put together was a really good dual movie series. Maybe that's why that wasn't on there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like it's crazy that they've got this theatrical musical version. I know it's not musical, but you get what I'm saying. Might as well be. It's on stage.
I'm Batman. Right. I'm in the shadows.
Exactly.
La 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 la. You'll never find me, motherfucker.
And like, no offense to the Lego movie because that movie was awesome, but
so is the Lego Batman movie,
like,
but it's not a Batman.
That's what I mean. The Lego Batman movie, but it's not a Batman movie.
Right.
It's a Lego movie about Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I could argue this till I'm blue in the face.
Yeah.
And the list sucked anyhow. I don't agree with the way that it was.
So let's go. Let's ask this question because this is the next bit of where they are ranked. Who is your favorite Batman? This is Batman voted by IGN followers. So we'll go around the table, ask you who your Batman, who your favorite Batman is. So. And I wish Mark was here so he could say, but he's not. So we're going to go to Ryan first.
Bale, all day.
Christian Bale, number 1. Okay.
So I think, and I have to elaborate just a little bit. I know we've got a long episode, but.
Oh, boy.
So I have to say, overall, series-wise, several movies, the big picture Batman is Christian Bale as well. Right now. However, I think that the initial Batman, I think that literally Batman Begins, I feel like the Christian Bale version of Batman Begins doesn't align with how he should have played that character. I think that Robert Pattinson played that very well because he seemed younger. He seemed a little bit more like amateur. It showed the development of him as opposed to Christian Bale, who came out as the money bucks, as the lady killer, as this all. Like, I didn't like that in the beginning. I feel like maybe Robert Pattinson is going to develop that Bruce Wayne sort of feel, but I think overall Christian Bale for now. But I think the initial Batman was presented better by Robert Pattinson.
Well, I mean, he wasn't the lady killer until after he left and came
right until
back.
Dark Knight.
That's true.
And then he had to put up the appearance of being
and he also did that at the behest of Alfred.
Yeah, and being a billionaire, so he didn't draw attention.
But you're not wrong.
I think that the younger version, because I Christian Bale he started off, I feel like, not that he's an old actor, but I feel like he played it with the portrayal of being someone who was older than what he should have been when he was in year 1 and year 2 as Batman. That's just my opinion. I think Robert Pattinson played that really well.
You know why Pattinson can't do it for me? You know the little emo kid in South Park with the hair flip?
Yeah.
That's what he is. That's what comes into my head.
So when I say Batman, I have to lump in a Bruce Wayne with it.
That's what
I judge you by your Bruce Wayne and your Batman. Which, I got to say, Val Kilmer was an excellent Bruce Wayne. Really not that great of a Batman, but still. Just to break the ice here, Christian Bale's number 3 for me.
That doesn't surprise me.
On the list. Because I think his villains elevated him so much more to make him a good Batman.
Yeah.
I don't think he did bad at all. But I got to say with his Bruce Wayne, I was kind of, okay, I like it, but I was just kind of on the fence. Excellent movies in terms of series. I'd say the series overall, Christian Bale's series is the best Batman series so far.
Agreed.
In second place, I've got to go with Ben Affleck.
Ugh.
He was an excellent Batman. He was a great Bruce Wayne. What's your superpower? I'm rich. Yeah. I just love that. And the way that he carries himself and the way that he just played that old beat up Batman, I loved it.
See, I can't like Ben Affleck. I don't know why. I've never, ever liked him in anything. I don't like him. I don't know what it is about him.
She's going to act like she didn't want them to make 800 feet on the asteroid.
I don't even know.
You wanted the asteroid to...
Okay, I stand corrected. That was the most amazing movie.
Don't want to close me down.
But even in that movie, I was kind of like, ugh, I'm just tired of your face. Like, I don't know what it is.
Well, that's a classic.
I don't know. And I love that movie. But Bruce Willis made that movie for me.
That's what I was going to say. He was competing with Bruce Willis. That's why I didn't like him.
So maybe that's why, because that's probably the first movie I ever saw him in. I was like, you know what? Bruce Willis doesn't like you. I don't like you either. Okay?
That means he's doing a good job of being an actor.
I guess. I don't know.
And
that just was born inside of me.
I've got to say, number 1 for me right now is Robert Pattinson.
I dig it.
Wow.
I dig
I
it.
just loved the detective aspect
Yes.
of it. I loved the dark and grimy. And I got to say, Christian Bale is followed very closely by Michael
was
Keaton.
gonna
But the
say-
IGN followers have Christian Bale number 1,
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson number 2, and then a conglomerate of others at 3, and Michael Keaton at 4.
Which really shocks me because
Yeah.
everybody loves them some Michael Keaton Batman. Like
Yeah.
that really kind of shocks me that the votes came in that
I feel
way.
like, I think that goes to more so that he was the first
yeah.
Yeah.
more than anything.
But
Okay.
But
I don't know. I kind of agree with you in a sense that I think that like Christian Bale, well, not you because you didn't, and actually neither one of you. I agree with neither of you in this regard. I was like, who
okay.
am I agreeing with? I get so
We
many
love you.
calls today.
You're glowing. You're beautiful.
Thank you, thank you.
We appreciate your mannerisms and your opinions. You're a very smart woman.
I know, thanks. Anyways, I feel like when I was originally asked this question by a friend, coworker that I talked to about nerd shit, my answer to him was that they were kind of the same. Like they were kind of tied at first place because I had those two different. Like the ways that I looked at it was Robert Pattinson did a bomb ass job for his first movie. Bomb ass job isn't really good for those that are like say everything backwards these days.
Sure.
But Christian Bale's overall series I really enjoyed. So they're kind of like tied
100%.
for
It was
first.
very, very good.
But Michael Keaton would not have. He's like 3 for me.
Yeah, he's good. He's
I
excellent.
mean-
And it's hard to say which one of these is the best. It's all by personal perspective. So there's no wrong answer.
no, it's not. The answer is Bale, and if you don't agree with it, you're wrong. And you're allowed to be wrong.
I mean,
I don't.
So
I'm
America.
not
I think-
saying you're wrong, but you're
In other
wrong, and I
places.
hate you.
I
Yeah.
think Val Kilmer was my least favorite. Down there with Ben Affleck.
Nope, George
both at the
Clooney.
bottom.
George
Okay,
Clooney,
you're right.
easy.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I forgot about.
Clooney is pretty-
I forgot about him. I didn't. He was so bad. I forgot he existed.
Yeah, see, you just blocked him out of your mind.
Yeah. No Clooney Batman for me.
No.
Sorry, Bat Nips. Not into it.
Bat nips.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Let's go into some TV and movies, shall we?
sure.
Shall we?
Shall we?
Amazon bought MGM Studios for $8.5 billion.
$1 billion. I wonder if they get the casino out in Las Vegas.
What?
MGM Studios.
I think that's a
That's
movie
the MGM
studio.
Grand.
No, MGM
Yeah.
Grand. Whatever.
Yeah, that might be.
Casino.
Is
Might
that the
be
same
different.
thing?
I don't know.
Is
Yeah,
it
it's
under that
the
umbrella?
same- it's the same MGM logo, I think.
Really?
I'm gonna be proven wrong here.
Oh boy.
So,
Congratulations! I know that Amazon is now the owner of the rights to James Bond.
So Bezos needed a tax write-off. What can we? Let's just buy MGM.
My tax bill's not looking very favorable, gang. I'm gonna go ahead and buy MGM Studios.
So it doesn't say Studios is a completely separate entity. With no, but there are huge gold statue lions as soon as you walk into the MGM Grand. So they're associated somehow, or
What is
someone's ripping the other one off.
What does MGM stand for?
Your mom's house.
Oh wow!
Wow.
I wish I was richer. This would be a much nicer studio.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Oscars. I want to talk about two things from the Oscars. One, congratulations to Dune as a movie. They won the most Oscars out of all applicants with 6.
Hold on. Dune won Oscars.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fuck out of here, bro.
They did. And why does that displease you, Ryan?
Yeah.
Does that displease you?
There's a few movies like No Way Home.
So they won for best sound, production design, film editing, cinematography, visual effects, and score. All the things you might imagine. So the
like an Endgame
Oscars really
or
like they're going,
bunch of other Marvel movies that should have won Oscars that didn't. Yeah.
No Way Home was not
themselves.
even mentioned.
Exactly.
Like, shut your mouth. These Marvel movies single-handedly saved movie theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And now they don't even get a seat at the table? Yeah. Did you even see my man Tom Holland?
I know Dune was phoned in because everybody that watched that, half of them fell asleep during that bullshit.
It's not true. I watched the whole thing. I liked it.
And out of me and you, I fell asleep. So that's half of us.
That's half of us. But 2/3 of us did not.
I might be wrong. Like I might be right. I might have originally been right.
She's
It
just
said-
staring at her phone right now like, oh
I am. I'm trying to figure out this MGM thing.
Oh my God. Oh my God. MGM.
When the Las Vegas Hilton became the most successful casino in the city, the guy who created MGM Grand, Kirkarian, decided to reinvest using MGM Studios resources. The casino soon became MGM Studios' major source of income.
There you go.
So they're associated somehow.
So they don't make enough money on their movies. They do it,
and they're not
gambling.
they're not even MGM anymore. They're not. It's now or MGM Grand anymore. It's called the Bali Casino or
I don't
something.
care.
Bali Grand.
Go
anyway, it's
spend
not
your money however you want. But let's talk about the most
like being
important
wrong.
thing that happened on the Oscars, and that's Chris Rock getting the taste slapped out of his mouth by a certain Fresh Prince of Bel-Air who claimed to be wanted to be a vessel of love, and then at the Oscars slapped the shiznit out of Mr. Chris Rock.
The only thing that would have made that slap better is if you'd had somebody powder him up right beforehand.
So a really good friend of ours and of the show sent me a TikTok earlier of a woman that said, so during the investigation of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, the detectives found, and then she took a sip of her coffee, and then she just goes, Fresh Prince.
Wow.
Get out.
Yep. The door's right there.
I laughed. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
We know.
I'll even turn it for you.
We know.
Oh, Jesus.
I also saw a wonderful meme. There has been some.
Oh my gosh.
A
I had to get off of Facebook and Instagram.
My favorite
today.
was Chris Rock is lucky all the dudes that have been sleeping with Jada didn't rush the stage instead of just Will.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Why in the world would Will Smith think that was a good idea? First of all, Chris Rock did not press any charges, refused to speak to the police. And
handled it pretty well.
Handled it like an absolute pro.
So he apparently had no idea that she had any health associations to why she had recently shaved her head.
Yeah.
So he literally came out and was like, I had no idea. And it's been like in the news and shit. I don't know if Chris Rock just lives under a rock.
I haven't read any other news on this, so this is good.
What, that I know?
I haven't read it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So he apparently came out and said that he had absolutely no idea that she had this. And he was literally just saying, and I kind of agree with this reporting on it. So Jada is incredibly fit. She has a banging body for however old she is. She's very beautiful, in the face. So it's kind of like it was Chris Rock was kind of giving a compliment to her,
backhanded
in a sense.
Compliment that she was going to be a Marine,
a GI Jane, because she was fit and all that. And so I really don't think that he was trying to make a joke in a sense of being incredibly insensitive. I mean, I don't know his intentions.
Wouldn't. Not to mention, he's a comedian.
Right. And he's a comedian. So I don't think that he would have, especially on a national stage like that. I don't feel I don't know. I'm not trying to necessarily defend him.
No, I don't think he would consciously make fun of a woman's mental or her health issues just for a couple yucks on the Oscars.
Exactly.
I don't think that would happen. But I would say this, buddy.
Yeah.
There were so many better ways to handle that.
It's not a bar. You're not out at the club.
Well, I'm just saying.
Somebody says something sideways about your wife.
You can't
assume that everybody knows your personal fucking business.
Yeah, I guess it was a thing that was out there and that she's really sensitive about it. And that's the one no button. You could have talked about the entanglement and made jokes about that. They're used to that shit. You know what I mean?
I think if you watch the video of how it happened, the camera pans to obviously Chris Rock
laughing.
on stage, him laughing, and then back to Chris Rock, and then all of a sudden you see Will walking up to the stage. When they're watching Will Smith laugh at this joke, Jada is not laughing.
No, not at all.
She is not right.
And
and so he probably caught eyes with her and she was like, you going to take care of that shit? And then he decided to, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I think he did it on his own accord, but that's what I'm saying.
Or he was laughing because he was uncomfortable because he was like, did he just say that? Thinking how am I going to react to this? I don't know. I don't think that I feel like it was, there's never room for violence. And
I just say you can get your pound of flesh once the screens are off.
Yeah.
Or you could go to him after the show and say, "Hey, I just want you to know that this is what's going on with her. If you don't, did you know about that?" And if he goes, "Yeah, I knew," sure, whoop his ass.
Yeah.
But if he says, "I had no idea," but I really expect an apology publicly from you about that. And Chris Rock would have been like, "You know what, man?
Yeah,
you're right."
And I'm sure he would have.
And I'm sorry.
He probably still will.
To walk up and slap him and say, "Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth." Okay, well, now you look like an idiot.
Yeah. And so apparently, only very a very short time later, Will Smith won an Oscar for Best Actor.
Best Actor for
and then
King
he
Richard.
went up on stage and cried and was crying and apologizing, not to Chris Rock for smacking him, not that he necessarily needed
To the Academy.
but to the Academy and to his viewers and to everybody else that was there. And then he started saying how love makes you do crazy shit. And then he cried on stage. And then 2 hours later, he was at some party with his Oscar in his hand, dancing to Getting Jiggy with It, not even like with no recollection of the fact that he just slapped another celebrity on stage and literally could have immediately gone to jail.
Or he
battery.
could have, and that's just how it plays.
But
you know?
that's how Hollywood
I'm not
works.
gonna lie to you. If that was me, might have done that same sense too. Because now you know I'm not bullshitting.
Yeah.
I'm not just out here for funs and giggles. You want to fucking make a joke about something? All right.
Yeah.
That is a no subject now, and everybody knows that now.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with Will Smith handling it.
Right. Me neither.
I don't even disagree with him slapping him. But you're supposed to be this big example. You're on Disney Plus. You're supposed to be this big role model. And listen. I'm talking about for him and his own damn well-being. I don't care what happens to Will Smith.
Yeah.
He does not affect my life. But I'm saying, be smart. The world is watching you, man.
Yeah.
And he's got to know that.
Part of the reason why I did it.
They're talking about the Academy is.
What did I say
apparently-
earlier? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
But the Academy is investigating or whatever it is that they're doing. There's really nothing to investigate.
Yeah, right.
But they are roundtabling the thought of stripping him of the Oscar.
For why?
For that, because
They already announced that he won.
It doesn't matter. They can strip him of that on
me,
his record.
That's dumb. If
I
that
don't
was
necessarily
supposed to be-
disagree, but
It's supposed to be off of my performance. What I did there was something completely
yeah,
different.
but you're at that point you're representing the Academy. So I understand their stance is they're trying to say we disagree with him putting his hands on another person?
So
especially
it's
one of our
still
hosts of the show.
Somebody
so I
that
think
they've
they're
invited there.
right, somebody that they've invited to also represent the Academy and the city and the elite and whatever the hell else. And they're not going to accept that. And that is showing society, at least from the Hollywood standpoint, that it is okay that just because you don't like something that somebody said, you can physically put your hands on them. And the Academy doesn't want to stand for that.
And I'm not gonna lie to you though, that's kind of a good thing because nowadays a lot of motherfuckers think that they can just get away with saying whatever
Because
the fuck they want.
Well, and
not
I
have to
agree,
answer
but it's
to
both
those
sides of that. Is that people
consequences, you know
shouldn't
what
be
I
able to
mean?
just get away with saying shit, but you also can't put your hands on somebody because you don't like what they said. Neither of those things is acceptable.
Well, there's two sides to this. One,
Right.
the Oscars are in love with themselves.
That's
Yes.
true.
And their production, the Oscars, and people love to say that they're Oscar winners, so they think that all these people and all these celebrities are beholden to them, and that's great. Good for you guys. You strip him, you don't strip him. You still announced on national television that he won, so it would be kind of stupid to go back on that now. But to the other point, that Will Smith putting his hands on one of their folks. It's a terrible move.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I mean, that's just really not the way to handle that for so many reasons. But to your point of comedians and people not being able to say things and not having to answer for it, a lot of the people that people have problems with are people that are online and faceless and nameless, and they're talking out of their ear holes because they can say it and they know there will be no repercussions. I think there are going to be negative impacts of this. Like
think either
somebody's
way.
going to try to walk up and slap Joe Rogan and catch a shin to the mouth. I mean, it's going to have some more people do some stupid stuff like that, and I don't think it's going to go well. I don't think Chris Rock meant to actually tease somebody's medical condition, and I think Will should have the wherewithal to know that if he did that, then the Oscars would handle that themselves. Yeah. Hey, you allowed a presenter who willfully knew what was going on with my wife to trash her on your program? There's ways to handle it.
Yeah, but see, then nothing gets. Oh, we're sorry. And sorry doesn't change the way I feel at that moment.
And I feel like
sometimes, you know
either
what I mean?
way, the Academy is going to catch heat for it because if they don't do something about it, especially now that they've come out and made a public statement saying that they're considering pulling the Oscar, like you should have just shut the fuck up. You should have just said nothing. You shouldn't have come out with a statement, and you should have just let that shit die if you're going to let him keep the Oscar. But now that you have people's feelings involved, because obviously this is how this whole thing started, now that you have people's feelings involved, if you don't do something about it and you allow him to keep it, then you're defending a celebrity who put their hands on somebody who's not getting charged for it. And if you take it away from him, then you're not supporting him for his feelings.
But
in the
he's not
world we
getting-
live in, feelings matter.
But he's not getting charged because Chris Rock was like, nah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
but he still put his hands on another person.
He
Like
put
they
his
could
hands
have
on another
literally.
person, but that person's an adult.
And the
he was
LAPD
like, you know
went
what?
to Rock, who refused
like,
to speak
no.
to them and refused to press charges.
And sometimes that's one of those things where you might have known you had that coming.
Yeah. Anyway, we've talked about this for far too long. Let's take our
Only other thing I want to say is, Will, what can you slap for him, bro? He stood up right after.
he really did. He really did.
Like-
he really
and
just didn't.
and he handled it very respectfully, in my opinion. He was just kind of like, I just got slapped, or Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me, and I was kind of like, okay, well, I mean, at least you're standing strong, buddy. Like, yes.
Yeah, so that we went way long on that kind of stuff, so I'm going to skip some of this other stuff, and then we will get into Marvel news when we get back from our break. So stick with us. We'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. Talking about a little Marvel news here, shall we?
Marvelous news.
Yes, little did you know you were entering the Phase Wong of MCU.
Phase Wong?
According to Benedict Wong,
Gosh, that's
who plays Wong in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Here's something that's hilarious. James Gunn has come out and said the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special is the greatest thing he's ever done.
Which is shocking because he's made some pretty amazing shit.
He just did Peacemaker, which was really
Yeah.
good. I mean, he's obviously made the Guardians a big part of that. He was executive producer for all of the end game and Infinity War stuff. So for him to come out and say that this is the greatest thing he's ever done, it's kind of wild to me.
I mean, I'm here for it. I'm ready to see it.
I wonder if
Show
it's going
us
to
why.
be right. Like, is it going to be a canon thing? Is it going to be Star-Lord trying to convince them that Christmas is real? Is that where he finds Gamora? Does he find Gamora in the holiday special?
Oh, on Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, God.
You know,
And Gamora just doesn't understand the significance of it?
He's dressed as Santa and she kicks him in the nuts again twice.
I know it's supposed to be Jesus. Oh, you're from Earth? No, I'm from Missouri.
Yeah, that's on Earth, dipshit. Oh boy. I'm excited for this holiday special. I don't know what it's going to be, but let's get into it. Nicolas Cage is in the Marvel news
Oh boy.
because we just had Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. We're recently talking about Patrick Stewart joining the MCU. All these old flames coming back.
Speaking
And somebody
of flames.
came to him and said, are you ready to reprise Ghost Rider in the Multiverse of Madness?
I was going to say, wasn't his response, no, I am not in the Multiverse of Madness? When somebody asked if he was going to reprise his
Yeah,
Ghost
he's like,
Rider.
no, I'm not in it. I would be. It'd be cool. I'd love to work with Benedict Cumberbatch, but no, I'm not in it.
You know what that says to me?
He's in it.
That he's in it. I don't trust these people anymore. They're always lying.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. When you have the level of actors that you have in this, though, to put Nicolas Cage in there kind of brings down the average. That's all I'm going to say.
I disagree.
You don't
Nicolas
like
Cage is an Academy Award winning actor.
Yeah.
He slapped the shit out of Chris Rock.
No.
Oh, sorry, wrong guy.
It's like, are we
Wrong guy,
circling
my
back
bad.
to
Wrong
this?
guy. I'm sorry, that wasn't me. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be in there. But I was just like, wait, isn't this wild that people have been talking about these movies forever and how bad they are, and now when some of these guys come back, people are freaking out and they're so excited.
And they're begging to be in them.
I mean, I was not. Let me tell you something. No Way Home is my favorite Tobey Maguire Spider-Man moment.
Oh, 1,000%.
I did not enjoy the original series. I didn't think it was that great. I know people love it and swear by it. It just wasn't for me.
I compare that Spider-Man to George Clooney's Batman.
It's crazy because I liked them at the time when they were coming out just because we got Spider-Man on a big screen.
Right.
And it was cool
Oh, yeah,
to
we
see.
all loved them, but
Great to see.
But then
we've
once
seen the
you saw
development. Yep.
Andrew Garfield's version, and then you see Tom Holland's version, you're like, yeah, fuck
you're-
that guy.
I don't know about fuck that guy, but you definitely go, oh, it could be done much better. Okay, now I got it. Especially when they show Andrew Garfield with the web shooters, and he's like, I got to make my own web fluid. And Tom Holland's like, yeah, me too. So why does that come out of your body?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's where it's just like they're kind of teasing a little bit, but
Peter 1, Peter 2, Peter 3.
yeah. Yeah, Andrew Garfield's my favorite Spider-Man.
Same.
But he also said that the Spider-Man meme, where they're all pointing at each other,
Yeah.
that was the first thing they ever did.
Yeah.
All 3 guys got on set. They go, all right, guys, get your spider suits on. We're doing the meme.
Nice.
Where you stop and point at each other, like, which I think is just brilliant.
I told you, like I said it before, that was a horrible missed opportunity. They should have put that in the movie.
Yeah,
they should have put it in the movie.
So they did in that, but they didn't do it as
obvious
well as they did because obviously they're coming off of such a huge moment with Aunt May being killed. But when they're in the lab and he goes, "Hey, Peter," and he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Peter Parker, not helping. That we're all Peter Parker." Yeah, that was good. Miss Marvel, we got a trailer for Miss Marvel. Did we talk about that a couple weeks ago?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know. I don't watch trailers.
Miss Marvel got a trailer, and it looks like they're changing her abilities a little bit.
Of course they are,
because originally she's an Inhuman. And she gets those powers via the Inhumans, and it's kind of born with it. In the video game, she gets it from some gas, some Terrigen gas that changes her genetic makeup. This one makes it look like she's getting some sort of alien technology.
Yeah, man.
It looks very Kree-esque. I don't know what they're going to do with her origin, but I have learned and watching all the Marvel stuff that in Feige we trust. So
sometimes
if he's got it going, all right, Feige, I trust you. Speaking of releases, Miss Marvel coming out pretty soon. Here is the schedule for Marvel for 2022 and beyond. We talked about this a couple times, but let's just circle back because it's getting kind of prevalent here. Tomorrow's the 29th. Wednesday, Moon Knight, March 30th, episode 1. And it's a 6-part series. Don't sleep because they might have 2 out because that's what they've been doing with almost all these series that come out. Moon Knight apparently is disconnected from the MCU. And a lot of people are like, what does that mean? Are they not going to be part of the bigger universe? That's not what that means. What it means is, like, when they started with Captain America, he was already semi-tied to Iron Man. You have Iron Man, you started him off, he's tied to Nick Fury. Moon Knight is completely disconnected from all that. So that is very interesting. And that's apparently what drew Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke to want to do it, because that was, it's something that they don't have to play with other people's toys, so to speak.
Right.
Gotcha.
And I'm super into it. I think this is going to be an excellent little series. I have a feeling this one's really going to resonate with me. But we'll see. We'll see. But I think we're just getting the start of Moon Knight. I think he's around for a long time because he's already come out and said he wants to do a Midnight Suns movie. Do we know at the table who the Midnight Suns are? Kind of
I don't
cheating
know.
here.
Mm-mm.
But I know the sun doesn't come out at midnight.
Wow. That is an incredible,
So
astute
S-O-N-S.
observation.
S-O-N-S. S-O-N-S.
S-O-N-S.
But the cast that he wants to see is obviously himself as Moon Knight, Ghost Rider,
Okay.
somebody who Ryan doesn't believe will ever make an appearance in the MCU. And
They're talking about Blade.
Blade.
You might as well be a super fictional character now.
And then, of course,
Super fictional.
2 gentlemen who have recently reappeared in the form of the Disney Plus series, Mr. Punisher and Mr. Daredevil, which I have gone to rewatching Daredevil. And I was like, I don't really know if Daredevil's really that bad on Disney Plus. There's a scene where there's a man dead in prison, and his 2 prison inmates are ripping out his ribs to make shivs to stab the guards to get out. A man is decapitated with the door of a Cadillac Escalade, and it is shown quite graphically.
Welcome to Disney Plus, Daredevil.
I'll tell you, Daredevil and Disney Plus, they're there. There are now parental guides, so if you don't want your kids watching that, which you should, we created a new
I was
portfolio.
going to say, we actually discovered that the other day, and I know we've
Yeah.
reported on this in the past, and it hadn't been there yet. Disney Plus does now have the different ratings, and you can set certain profiles to certain things.
Called it.
Yep. So ours now we have two. We all just rocked under the same one because it was Disney Plus. What do we got to worry about?
Yeah.
Now we've got a separate one for the boys because I'm not ready for them to watch Daredevil, and we both and all know the moment that they see that shit available, they're going to be watching it. So we have currently. Not forever.
Man, they can't turn it on to see some titties.
No, I mean, watching it with us.
Where you don't see that in Daredevil?
I don't know. I'm just joking.
But watching that with us is kind of one thing. Watching that by themselves is something a little different. And they'll sit in here and watch
in
it.
our recording studio, yeah.
Yeah, there's a TV and everything in here. And they hang out in here, and they'll watch that shit until their friggin' eyes bleed. So.
And my point to our friend Rhino, who was talking to me about that, I was like, well, then there's no way Deadpool is not coming to Disney Plus.
There's literally there's rated
about
R, and then there's a whole nother one.
Talked about all that. You're going to get Logan, you're going to get Deadpool, and you're going to just put them under that rated R guys.
Yep.
Because you don't pay him more than any other actor in the MCU. Yes, including RDJ and Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans. He makes more money than all of them. And you're not going to not put him on your most profitable service.
Yeah, not a chance.
I was saying the only suggestion I had was maybe Hulu.
Yeah,
but
right. No, and that makes perfect sense.
I was like, no, they're going to have it there where you can watch everything. The only thing they're going to do is they're going to put probably a big label on it. Like, you shouldn't, this ain't a Disney thing.
Right.
And go from there.
As they should. Leave it. I never thought the mouse was going to leave it to its integrity in terms of the content of those characters.
Integrity? What integrity got? Integrity, only integrity they care about is green. And got dead presidents.
No. I'm saying they wouldn't care about the integrity of the show by making it Disneyfied. You're absolutely right. Disney wants them dollars. But anyway, let's move on. So Moon Knight, 3:30, March 30th. By the time you're done with this episode, it'll be out. Miss Marvel, June 8th. She-Hulk, coming out mid-2022. Which, I don't know, June's kind of mid-2022, so maybe July, August?
Probably July, August,
We'll get a She-Hulk. Secret Invasion is coming in 2022.
That's
Nick
awesome.
Fury coming back. And then What If Season 2 is set to come out in 2022. I did not know that.
Damn, it's going to be an action-packed year for...
But
and
What If his turnaround time is going to be great.
I was going to say, they're like 6 to 8 weeks long usually, and then there's like a 2-week buffer.
Right.
So, I mean, that makes sense because we are at almost the start of April by the end of this week.
And that's kind of where we've been.
And we've already had Hawkeye that ended right around Christmas. But then what did we start the year with? Didn't we start the year with one?
I think that was a Star Wars
Or was
thing.
it just Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Boba Fett started. Okay, so
I don't think we've gotten any of the Marvel shows.
well, that means
after
that
Hawkeye.
they're probably gonna be bang bang then if that's the case because they're not gonna release them multiple at a time.
Yeah, because they're so busy. That's why the Blade's not coming.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's why Blade's not coming.
But he will be, and you'll be upset. What was our bet? What's our bet?
$1 American dollar.
Damn it! I'm gonna frame it and put it in this studio if you owe me $1.
Yeah,
you better make it a halfway decent dollar at least.
I will go to someone who may work at a bank, give them 4 quarters, and tell them I need the crispiest, starchiest dollar.
And what's our time frame? Because I know we put a time frame on it. Is it 2023?
I think it was like 2023, 2024.
The end of
like
2023. Sorry, my back.
That's right. No, it's fine. Yeah. So, so speaking of that, there's a lot more that are on the list, but I didn't want to go through them until I said I didn't want to go through them, and now I kind of do because there's no definitive date. They're all TBD. But let's run through them quickly, shall we? Mm-hmm. So after the What If Season 2, Ironheart to be determined, Armor Wars to be determined, and that would make perfect sense for Armor Wars to tie into Ironheart. The Untitled Wakanda series is supposed to come out. This isn't all 2022. Loki Season 2, Echo, Agatha, House of Harkness, Spider-Man Freshman Year, that will be an animated series. Marvel Zombies, that will be probably an animated series and come out too.
Although it'd be really dope if it wasn't.
What if they introduce the Punisher to Marvel Zombies? Sign me up, please. So of all the sad things that isn't there, no Season 2 of WandaVision. Makes
there isn't, yeah,
complete
they're not making one.
and total sense.
Because they're going to revisit it. Basically, Season 2 of WandaVision is going to be Multiverse of Madness.
I don't think we see Vision in Multiverse of Madness.
I don't think so either.
I don't know. Paul Bettany hasn't come out and said he's not in the movie, though. So
which means he isn't.
Who knows?
But I am very happy to hear that there's a Loki 2 coming out, because I think so far that's the first and only Marvel Disney Plus series that has announced a second season.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
No? So far?
I think Captain America and the Winter Soldier has talked about a season 2
Oh,
already.
have they?
Not publicly
I'd get
announced.
down with that.
But publicly announced so far has only been Loki 2.
Because the thing that has been announced is Captain America 4.
Gotcha. That's what I mean. They're tying these in through the movies at this point.
For
So
sure.
At this rate, like, I wouldn't be surprised, like I'm saying, or like I said, WandaVision season 2 isn't necessary because all of that is going to be addressed in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Or at least that's where it picks back up. That doesn't mean that Wanda isn't going to circle back into something else in the future, but that's where it's going to pick up for her, basically, is then.
Yeah. Let's talk about some production things. It's going to kind of round out the episode for Marvel, things that are they're coming very soon. Black Panther Wakanda Forever has officially wrapped filming. And Angela Bassett, who plays the Queen, I can't remember her first name.
Mom.
Yeah,
Yes.
Queen Mom.
Queen Mom.
She has said that it is going to surpass the original Black Panther.
I believe
Doubt
it.
it.
I don't know. I believe it. Especially,
That's a lot to live up to.
especially 'cause
with what's happened.
I was going to say, we've talked a lot about this in the past, too, with how that movie impacted the culture. And I think that since that movie has come out, the culture has, like, the world we live in is very different. And I vastly see and agree with that.
Yeah,
I see that being the case, and I definitely agree with that. I
absolutely.
think that, and usually when you have a movie that performs that well, when the sequel comes out, it does even better because everybody has to see what happens next. I mean,
yeah.
really, if you haven't been watching all the Marvel movies that have come out, you don't know what's happening next because technically Black Panther 2 isn't going to pick up directly after Black Panther 1, but, you know,
Right.
that's what we...
Because a lot of things have happened since
Lots
then.
of things
anyway.
have happened since then, but...
But so that's done. So that's in post-production. But what is getting developed right now by the writer of the Moon Knight series, Sabir Pirzada, is Nova. There is a
Geeking
Nova
out.
series being written right now.
Who are we gonna have?
and
Who are we gonna get?
produced.
Here, this is our last bets right now.
It's gonna be somebody. I'm gonna bet that it's somebody that nobody knows. I want Zac Efron. I think that'd be cool. I think Zac Efron feels he's above doing comic book stuff. He just did that movie Gold, which went straight to like Apple Plus or something.
No,
He's a fantastic actor. Love to see him, but I think it's gonna be somebody that nobody's familiar with.
You don't think it's gonna be Egerton?
No, I do not.
Ugh, I want it to be Zac Efron so bad.
Me too. He'd be perfect,
He would.
but he would also be a good Johnny Storm.
Yes, probably even an even better Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
But
Nah, that's definitely got Michael B. Jordan written all over it.
I mean,
Hey, Multiverse of Madness. But the last bit of news, the last thing that I wanted to talk about is somebody we've talked about already is getting rebooted and brought to Disney Plus.
Blade. It's Blade, right?
It's not Blade.
Oh, of course it's not Blade.
It's
Someone we've already
somebody
talked about.
we've already talked about, and there is the name of this character and then reboot right next to it. Kind of crazy to me that this is being rebooted because it was so good.
and recent.
And now that it's very recent and it's been added to Disney Plus,
Daredevil?
they're rebooting it. It is Mr. Daredevil.
Oh, okay. But they're not recasting him.
No, Charlie
Okay,
Cox has already been in.
That's what I know. We'd already talked about this. That's why he was out of my brain because I thought you meant reboot as in like they did with Hulk and Spider-Man, how they basically
Yeah.
just redid them because like that's which really they didn't redo.
What I want to see is Iron Fist. I want to see Iron Fist rebooted, recast.
That's what I was thinking is when you recast somebody and basically you just scratch the
Charlie
original
Cox
story.
is signed on. He's in. He is Daredevil. Him showing up in No Way Home almost solidifies
Oh yeah,
that.
I'm all about that. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be quite incroyable. So, I mean, I don't know. Who's next? If it's Daredevil, then who's next? It's not going to be Punisher.
You don't think so?
I'd love it, but no, I don't think it is.
You don't think that they'll reboot him on the Disney Plus?
I don't know. I think they're
maybe
wanting
like a long time from now at this rate that
Oh,
we're
and
going.
apparently Disney is trying to really get away from Disney. Marvel is trying to get away from all the big bads showing up in New York. They're like, we're sick of it always being New York. It's got to be something else.
It's got to be like
I mean, that's where they live, though.
Jeff City, Missouri.
Yeah, seriously. They're going to have a fight out there in Arizona.
Nowhere, Oklahoma.
Come to
Just
Clearwater,
love to
Florida.
see-
Let me be an extra.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gladly.
So who's the next person to get rebooted then?
I mean, Jessica Jones would be kind of cool. Luke
I
Cage.
love Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
I think Luke Cage is serviceable. Maybe.
I mean, it's not going to be another Defender anytime soon. Not if they're doing the Daredevil, and Daredevil is going to get looped heavily. I think, especially after seeing him in Spider-Man, he's going to get looped into the MCU. Like not maybe not aggressively, but I think he's going to be throughout now.
when people go to Hell's Kitchen, they're going to end up dealing with him.
Yep.
Which
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, Blade would be nice.
I think, but now that you mention that, you're absolutely right. Like, look who's based in New York: Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Blade. I mean, we've got a lot that are. The Hulk kind of goes wherever he wants. Captain America was born and raised in New York, so he was always in New York. Iron Man is all over the place, but obviously we don't have any Iron Man anymore. I don't know.
Yep, it'll be Thanos instead of a snap. It's gonna be Will Smith smacking the
Oh
shit
my
out of Chris Rock.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here at the Alter Ego Podcast. Thank you so much for checking out episode 98. Do us a favor, go over to Instagram, follow us. We post a lot of these stories before we talk about them the week of. We're also on Facebook, all kinds of stuff. Follow us, like us, love us. If you do already, then share it with a friend. Give the gift of Alter Ego this season. See you guys next week for episode 99.
99.
How awesome would it have been if Chris would have just looked at him and been like, he should have gone for the head and smacked the shit out of him back.
Oh my god.
I actually have been thinking about a scenario in which Will goes to slap him and he just does the head move and moves out of the way.
And misses him entirely.
Then
Or
what does
catches
Will
his
do?
hand.
Then what does Will do?
I don't know.
We'll never know.
Oh, God.